So before I got married in year 20, around 2011, 2012, I remember during my service year, I went for a church program, and the pastor's wife was encouraging us about our prayer life. So he made a statement that before you get married, if your prayer life is 100%, that when you are married, that your prayer life will drop. I can't remember the exact percentage he said right now. When I heard that statement, I was like, we have a lot of people who are actually very vibrant in their single years, but by the time they get married, a lot of things set in. They can't keep up that momentum. And so today we'll just be discussing with you some of the things you can do if you're having that problem with your prayer life. I think it's not really a good thing to say, oh, I was once a prayer warrior, or I once had a fervent prayer life, and now, so what happened now? It is not a good thing to say, as in referring to your past glory. You understand what I mean? So if you're in that category, if you want to listen to this, as we grow, we have a lot of responsibilities. Now you are married, you have a family, right? Parenthood has set in. For example, I can imagine if you just put to bed and you're a nursing mother, and at times, it saps your energy, your strength. And when you were still single, no matter what time you wake up, you want to spend time praying. You can spend time in your morning devotion, studying the Bible and praying, right? Nobody will say, oh, mommy, I'm hungry. Nobody will ask you questions about your time. But right now you are married, now you have a family. The truth is this, now you have excuses. When you start giving yourself these excuses, you realize that you then have days, weeks, months, years that you're not as fervent in your prayer life like you used to do. And so responsibilities everywhere. Now you're working, you have goals and targets to meet at work, you have responsibilities, you have to be responsible at work, right? So you're getting more tired than you used to be before, right? And then have a legit excuse. You have excuses, you can make excuses. Oh, I can't pray, I'm tired right now. Oh, I can't pray, I have a project I need to complete right now. They're so urgent. You have a lot of demand in your place of work, right? Pressures of life. And before you know it, you realize that your prayer life has gone down the drain. So there must be a solution. You can't continue this way. So if you continue a life of prayerlessness, before you know it, you start saying, oh, whatever. And remember, in those days when you don't pray, the way you feel so bad, you feel restless. I don't know about you. Now that you have reasonable excuses, even when you are feeling bad, you say, God will understand. God will get to a stage whereby you won't feel bad anymore. Even when you don't pray for days, you will not feel bad anymore. And that is a very bad place to be. It's a very dangerous place to be, right? So in the midst of our hustling and bustling, there is need for us to actually pay attention to our prayer life. You need to pay attention to your prayer life in the middle of the hustling and bustling of life. And I'm going to give you some tips that will help you to get back up into your prayer life. Now let's go. Your desire is very important. You have to desire to have a sound and a quality prayer life. One of the pointers to show that you have a walk with God is in your prayer life. To the believer, your prayer life is like the engine that keeps you going. It's like the engine that needs to be oiled, your engine that needs to be refueled, right? So you can't afford to stay for a long time without a good and quality prayer life. Not your desire. You have to desire to be a person of prayer. No, you have to know, if you are in that state of prayerlessness, you have to know that I'm not in the right state. We can have our way around those excuses. That's what I'm saying. So we have to actually have the desire to improve. There should be a desire to improve and take action. I know that initially, maybe when you were still single, you were not married, you were so fervent in your prayer life that you can pray for like 2 hours. Right now you're so busy that your schedules are so tight. Now you have to take action. You might want to start with maybe 5 minutes. Before you were doing 1 hour. 2 hours, I understand. But now that your prayer life has gone down the drain, you have to start somewhere. So you have to take action. Okay, you want to say, I want to pray in the morning for 5 minutes. Now you have to be committed to that. And before you know it, will increase it. And let me tell you something about prayer. From experience, I realized that even when you don't feel like praying, just start praying. Start praying. And by the time you start praying, you realize that it's so sweet, it's so interesting. You feel the presence of God. There is this experience, this pleasantness that you can't explain to anyone. As in, there is this feeling, especially when you pray in the spirit, when you pray in tongues, when you connect with God with your spirit by praying in tongues. The Bible says, building up yourself on your most holy faith, praying in the Holy Ghost. And the times I want to pray, maybe I want to pray for the last few minutes because I'm in a hurry. By the time I start praying in tongues, I realize that it should be, I don't know, let me say it in the Nigerian English, it should be sweeting you. You don't want to leave the presence of God. So what am I trying to say? I'm saying that start somewhere. Even if it's just 5 minutes, commit it to prayer before you know it, because God sees your heart. God knows that you really want to spend time praying. You really want to spend time talking with Him, right? Before you know it, because you have the desire and you are taking the action, you see the blessing of God upon your prayer life. Try to maximize your time. Maximizing your time. That's the third point. Maximizing your time. Desire, take action, then maximizing your time. For example, you have a very busy schedule. If you are driving to the office and you have like 10 minutes. Why not commit that 10 minutes to praying? You're driving to your office for like 30 minutes. Why not say, in this 30 minutes, I'm going to commit it in praying, as in really praying. God sees your heart. You know, when you're praying, you're not talking to man, but you're talking to God who sees your heart. Maximize those time. Maximize them. Maximize time. From work, they know you're going for a lunch break. Why can't you just maximize 5 minutes and pray and speak to God? Right? Maximize time. And also you can have a prayer partner. If you're a woman, you can have another woman who you have known over time that she has the desire to pray. It is so good to have somebody who can inspire your prayer life, right? I remember in those days in secondary school, we have brothers who we saw then as our fathers in the faith. No, they will ask you, have you prayed today? Because you know that this person is going to ask you, have you prayed today? You're going to spend time praying, because it would be a shame to tell your spiritual father that I've not prayed. Why? What's your excuse, right? If you can have a partner who also believes in consistency, who also believes in fervency in the place of prayer, who both of you can schedule a prayer time. You can say, every Tuesday we want to fast and we want to pray for like an hour or 30 minutes together. A person who you can be accountable to, or somebody who can actually check up on you. And I encourage you to work with somebody who of the same sex, right? A male should have a male prayer partner. A female should have a female prayer partner. Don't let your relationship be all about gisting. Some friendship are just about gisting. You gist, you gossip, you talk about everybody, but there is no question about, how is your prayer life? How is your walk with God? How do you study your Bible? As in, you have friends like that, and friends like that are quality friends who watch out for you, who pray for you, who when you are falling, they will look at you and say, sister so and so, what's wrong? Are you not praying as you ought to pray? They will charge you up. They will encourage you. They will need that kind of friendship, right? And so how can you develop that? Maybe in your church, but people who you, over the years, you have believed in, right? And if you have a prayer partner and you discover that whenever you go to pray or something, you do something else apart from prayer, stop it. If not, you told each other you want to pray, but at the end of the day, you are there gisting. Stop it. Stop it, because for every relationship, you have to define your purpose. If a relationship is already derailing from its purpose, you stop it, right? Because your destiny, your destiny and your purpose is so important to you, right? And you can't afford, because you don't want to offend anybody, you can't afford to destroy your life. You can't afford to make somebody mess up your life, right? So having a prayer partner is so important. You can discuss with somebody, can we be prayer partners? If you have discovered that, this person has a good prayer life, this person can steer me up to prayer, you can have a conversation. Can you be my prayer partner? When it's like you are weak to pray, the person can pull you up, right? So one thing I realized about prayer is that, I remember then when we cook with firewood, and and the fire is already burning, right? It's so easy when you put another wood that has no fire. Just put it on the fire. Before you know it, that wood will catch fire. And that's how prayer is. If you want to be a person of prayer, you have to be around somebody who prays. If you want to be a person of prayer, check your church, because your church is supposed to be a training ground for you. If you notice that the church you are attending does not improve your prayer life, you know what to do. Having a good prayer life is something that you have to develop consciously. You have to desire it. You have to maximize time. You have to have the right company around you. Many people go to churches because they want business partners. That's okay. They go to church because they want to be a monk, right? So people go to church because people will say, why are you not going? Why are you not in church? But we have people who are going to church because they want to be better. They want to know God more. They want to be better in their work with God. They want to have encounters with God. They want to be a blessing. Prayer is so important to accomplish the things we want to do for God. So in my next video, I'm going to be talking about the importance of prayer. The importance of prayer. You know, when you know the importance of a thing, nobody will force that thing on you, right? When you know that, oh, this is a tablet that is going to cure your disease, you will be the one to say, give me. So if you know that prayer is so important to you, right, you will be the one craving it. Nobody will force you to pray. So in my next video, I'm going to be talking about the importance of prayer, right? And I pray the Lord will help you. As you are listening to me, I know that you have a stirring in your spirit. I know that you have a stirring in your spirit to pray. Go ahead and pray. Go ahead and spend time with God. Go ahead and maximize time. Go ahead and rekindle that fire again. Go ahead. Pray in the spirit. Pray in the spirit. Pray in the spirit, and the Lord will help you. The Lord will help you in Jesus' name.